For centuries, the story of Jesus has captivated billions. His teachings, miracles, and ultimately his crucifixion and resurrection form the bedrock of Christian faith. The image of Jesus on the cross, suffering for humanity's sins, is a powerful and enduring one. It is a story of sacrifice, love, and hope. The Gospels describe in detail the events leading up to Jesus' crucifixion. His arrest in the Garden of Gethsemane, the trial before Pontius Pilate, the brutal torture, and finally his agonizing death on the cross. But what if this widely accepted narrative is not entirely accurate? Throughout history, alternative theories have emerged, questioning the traditional account of Jesus' death and resurrection. Some believe he survived the crucifixion, others that he was never crucified at all. These theories, while often controversial, offer intriguing perspectives on one of history's most significant events. Let's explore these alternative narratives, examining the evidence and arguments put forth by their proponents. We'll delve into ancient texts, historical analyses, and even personal accounts that challenge the conventional understanding of Jesus' fate.
One of the most enduring alternative theories is the swoon theory. This theory proposes that Jesus did not actually die on the cross, but merely fell unconscious. Proponents argue that the Roman soldiers, believing him dead, took him down and placed him in the tomb. Several factors lend credence to this theory. Firstly, the Gospel accounts mention that Jesus' crucifixion was unusually short. Crucifixion victims often lingered for days before succumbing to their injuries. Could this indicate that Jesus was still alive when taken down from the cross? Secondly, the Gospel of John describes blood and water flowing from Jesus' side when pierced by a Roman soldier. Some medical experts suggest this could be evidence of pleural effusion, a condition that can occur in living individuals experiencing severe trauma. Thirdly, the swoon theory points to the absence of bone breakage during Jesus' crucifixion. Crucifixion typically involved breaking the legs of the condemned to hasten death. However, the Gospels state that Jesus' legs were not broken, potentially indicating he was still alive. While the swoon theory offers a compelling alternative, it is not without its critics. Skeptics argue that the trauma Jesus endured, combined with the loss of blood and exposure, would have made survival highly improbable.
Beyond the canonical Gospels, apocryphal texts offer alternative narratives of Jesus' life and death. One such text is the Gospel of Barnabas, which presents a radically different account of the crucifixion. According to the Gospel of Barnabas, it was not Jesus who was crucified, but Judas Iscariot. The text claims that Judas, disguised as Jesus, was arrested and crucified in his place. Meanwhile, Jesus ascended to heaven while still alive. This gospel portrays Jesus as a prophet of God, confirming his divine mission but denying his divinity. It emphasizes Jesus' teachings on compassion, forgiveness, and the oneness of God. While the Gospel of Barnabas is not considered part of the biblical canon, it provides a fascinating glimpse into early Christian beliefs and the diverse interpretations of Jesus' life and mission. Its claim of Judas' crucifixion challenges the traditional narrative and raises questions about the identity of the crucified individual.
Islam, a major world religion with over 1 billion followers, offers a distinct perspective on Jesus' fate. The Quran, Islam's holy book, acknowledges Jesus as a prophet of God, but vehemently denies his crucifixion. According to Islamic belief, God saved Jesus from the cross and raised him bodily to heaven. The Quran states that it only appeared as though Jesus was crucified, but in reality, God replaced him with someone else. This substitution, according to Islamic tradition, could have been Judas or another individual. The Islamic perspective emphasizes Jesus' humanity and his role as a messenger of God. It rejects the concept of Jesus' divinity and the notion of atonement through his death. Instead, Islam teaches that salvation is attained through faith in God, good deeds, and following the teachings of the prophets, including Jesus. The Quran's denial of Jesus' crucifixion highlights the theological differences between Christianity and Islam. While both faiths revere Jesus, their understanding of his mission and ultimate fate diverge significantly.
Section 5. Gnostic Gospels. unveiling alternative narratives. The Gnostic Gospels, a collection of ancient texts discovered in the 20th century, offer a treasure trove of alternative Christian narratives. These texts, rejected by the early church, provide a different lens through which to view Jesus' life, teachings, and death. Some Gnostic texts, like the Gospel of Thomas, focus on Jesus' sayings and teachings, emphasizing his wisdom and spiritual insights. Others, like the Gospel of Philip, explore the mystical aspects of Jesus' relationship with Mary Magdalene, presenting a more nuanced and intimate portrayal. While the Gnostic Gospels do not directly deny Jesus' crucifixion, they often downplay its significance. Instead, they emphasize Jesus' spiritual message and his role in guiding humanity towards enlightenment. Some Gnostic texts even suggest that Jesus' physical body was an illusion, and that his true self transcended death. The Gnostic Gospels offer a glimpse into the diversity of early Christian thought and the existence of alternative interpretations of Jesus' life and teachings. They remind us that the story of Jesus, like any historical event, is subject to multiple perspectives and interpretations.
Fact or fiction? The question of whether Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection are historical facts or theological constructs has been debated for centuries. From a medical standpoint, the process of crucifixion is well documented and was a common method of execution in ancient Rome. The physical trauma and subsequent death from crucifixion are supported by historical and medical evidence. However, the resurrection, as described in the Gospels, presents a challenge to our understanding of biology and natural laws. Some argue that the resurrection is a miraculous event beyond the scope of scientific explanation, while others seek naturalistic explanations for the accounts of Jesus' post-crucifixion appearances. Ultimately, the interpretation of these events often depends on one's faith, worldview, and willingness to accept the possibility of miracles.
The Passover Plot and Beyond. Proposed by Hugh J. Schonfield in his book The Passover Plot, this theory suggests that Jesus and his disciples orchestrated the crucifixion and resurrection events to fulfill messianic prophecies. According to Schonfield, Jesus planned to survive the crucifixion through the use of medicine and careful timing, only to die later from his injuries. While controversial and widely criticized by scholars, the Passover plot theory highlights the ongoing fascination with and reinterpretation of the events surrounding Jesus' death and resurrection. It serves as a reminder that the story of Jesus continues to inspire a wide range of interpretations and theories, each attempting to uncover the truth behind one of history's most enigmatic figures. Throughout history, various theories and interpretations have emerged, each offering a unique perspective on the events surrounding Jesus' crucifixion. From historical analyses to theological debates, these viewpoints continue to spark discussions and, well, sometimes even controversies. Moving beyond the literal interpretations, we delve into the symbolic and metaphysical meanings that these events might hold. For many, the crucifixion and resurrection are not merely historical events, but profound spiritual symbols that resonate deeply within the human experience.
You know, my personal experiences and visions have really challenged my traditional beliefs. It's like I see things now in a completely different light. The stories, the symbols, they all have layers. And honestly, it's been quite a journey to uncover them.
Ultimately, the story of Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection is a tapestry woven with diverse threads of belief, interpretation, and faith. Each thread, whether historical, theological, or personal, adds to the rich and complex narrative that continues to captivate and inspire people around the world.